Hey, Bobby Leitz here. One of the things we're going to talk about today is on the bench press. How it is important, how do you set up, what are the most important things for safety, and doing the most efficient bench press as possible so you can get the most out of it. So with my demonstrator here, Zach, please lay down for me, sit down. Okay, the first thing we want to do is understand as we set up on the bench, make sure that you have a spotter. It's very important to have a spotter. As you set up on the bench, there's a couple of things you want to go through. It's not just laying down and pressing. What you want to do is make sure, go ahead and lay down, Zach. What you want to do is then start thinking about how you're going to set up. The process here, you have a lot of people talk about whether or not to have an arc or to have an arc. The best thing to do is there's a natural curvature in the spine and supporting those muscles and how it works. So what we're going to do is we've got to build the foundation in the bench. So if you look in the foundation, the first thing I'm going to look at is your legs. How do we get strength and stability in the legs? You start with the feet. When you put the feet down, you look at the heels. What I'm looking for essentially for novices is a 90-degree angle. Let's set the legs at a 90-degree angle. Let's push the heels down to the ground. And then, once you get set, you're going to go have that. You're going to have the arc. If you can see on his, he has an arc. I can fit my hand underneath it. We're going to set up on the shoulders. You're going to tuck them in so you have a nice big arc. Everything is nice and steady. Everything's locked in. Now, key part here is I'm going to ask Zach, scoot your heels out. When you scoot your heels out, and that means I'm moving them out this way, moving the heels out, what it does, it locks in the lower back muscles. And when it does that, now things are set. Your hips are set, your lower back's set. Now we're fixing to get this part set. Go ahead and grab the weight. You just want to make sure that the hands are within the rings. Each one, there's a ring on the outside. Make sure your hands are inside that ring. You can do it close, but what you want to do is make sure that you don't go in too far. Stick in a position so that it's about shoulder width or a little bit wider, which your arms are longer. So if you're long arms, you want to go out wide. But he's not wider than the rings themselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get behind him. We're going to go spot him out, and when I come out, you want to make sure that bar comes out over in front of the chest muscles, really on top, right about here. That allows the shoulders to rotate in a position where they're not rotating over, they're actually coming straight down and pushing straight back up. And when you do that, the movement is coming down strength and making sure that your legs are locked in place so that when you drive up, it's not just your shoulders, your arms, and your back, but the reality is it's going to be your legs driving up because that's what's supporting you. Very important to understand that, because if not, you find yourself flattening your stomach out and then you're pressing just with the shoulders in this part of the hands. You want to make sure in the bench part, it's this part of the hand that presses. That part from there is you're making sure that you're pushing straight up. So I was going to lift off for you real quick. I'm going to show you. Get behind. And then we're also, one of the key essentials is making sure you take in that breath. So when I give you out the weight, before you take it from me, you're going to take a deep breath and you hold that breath. You ready? 1, 2, 3, out. Okay, take a deep breath. Hold it. Now go down and drive it up. Real fast. You saw how he popped it up? By doing that, he used his legs, and he also, by holding it in, he keeps that rib cage and that torso nice and tight. And that's important as you go through a lot of fast reps, is to get that speed and consistency going so that your legs, your arms, your body all are learning how to move quickly. So if you're trying to, whether it be football or other sports, you're trying to react quickly, your muscles already know if I'm going to push something, I can use my legs, my thighs, my obliques, my shoulders. Everything's going to know how to push something very quickly. And that's an effective way to do the bench.